Yo. Okay, so parts 2 and 3, and then I'll make other videos for the other parts. That's how I'm going to section this up. I decided like halfway between last video. Okay. Part 2. Simplify the following expressions. Okay, this is the distribution stuff and the binomial multiplication stuff. These two are distribution. These two are binomial multiplication. You can tell because these are two factors multiplied together. And these are like a thing multiplied by something in parentheses. Over and over again. Boom and boom. So let's do these two first. I can just keep it. All right, so when we're doing distribution, we always take the outside term and multiply it by every inside term. So 4x times 5x is 20x squared. We do the numbers first. 4 times 5 is 20. Then we count how many x's we're multiplying and put that in the exponent. Then we do 4x times positive 2, so that's positive 8x. And then this was something that I want to make sure is clear. When you're doing minus 7 times 8x and minus 7 times positive 2, once you do the multiplication, you don't need parentheses anymore, right? So the minus 7 times a positive 8 becomes minus 56x, and we don't need parentheses. Like, that's just good. It turns into a minus. And then minus 7 times plus 2 is minus 14. Bada bing. Now we check what are the things we can actually multiply together or add together. We can't add anything with the 20x squared because there's no like terms. There's nothing else with an x squared. We can add the positive 8x and the negative 56x because those both have only x's, like only one x. So negative 56 plus 8 is negative 48x. And then the 14 also has no like term. There's no other just numbers. So we just write that again. And then this is a finished problem because there's no more like terms. Let's move this up. This is what I'm talking about when I'm on the board and I like want things to be in a slightly different spot. It's totally easy on the computer and impossible in real life. Okay, so for this one, 3a times 2a plus 3a times 6b minus 4 times 3b minus 4 times 8a. I'm just drawing the arrows so we know what we're about to do. All right, 3a times 2a, we do 3 times 2 is 6. A times a is a squared. Nice. 3a times 6b is plus 18, because 3 times 6 is 18. And then the a times b, we just write it as a times b. So 18ab. Negative 4 times 3b, negative 12b. Again, we don't need parentheses anymore, even though it's a minus, because we've done the distribution. And then negative 4 times 8a is negative 32a. Now we check for like terms. There's no other a squareds, there's no other ab's, there's no other b's, and there's no other a's. So this is finished. It's a finished problem. Okay, for binomial multiplication, it's kind of double distribution. We're saying instead of just distributing the 6 to both of these back terms, we're also distributing the 3x to both of the back terms. So you do the first times the last set of parentheses and the second thing by the last set of parentheses. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times positive 1 is 3x. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And negative 6 plus 1, negative 6 times plus 1 is negative 6. We can simplify this because these two are like terms. There's no more x squared, so we leave the 3x squared alone. We do plus 3 minus 6 is negative 3x, and then minus 6 stays alone, and that's a finished problem. The other way people learned this, or like to think about it a lot, is the box multiplication. So we'll do a box one now. Yep, good. This is the nice, got there. This is when you put one of the factors on top and one of the factors on the side. And then you do the multiplication by saying like, oh, the thing that goes here is this times this, right? And the thing that goes here is this times this, the rows and the columns. So x times x is x squared. x times negative 4 is negative 4x, x times positive 4 is positive 4x, and positive 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Then you just write the things that you put in the box next to each other. And then again, combine any like terms. Here, negative 4x plus 4x is 0. So we just take them both out because they cancel each other. And then that's a finished problem. Either one of these could have been used in the box, and either one of them could have used foiling. This process is called foiling. All right, part 3. Find f of 2. We say this is f of 2 and f of negative 3. This is how we read it out. F of negative 3 for the following functions. So that's a problem, and this is a problem. Fun fact. When we say f of 2, what we mean is rewrite the function, but plug in 2 for x. Right, so f of 2 of 3x squared plus 1 is 3 times 2 squared plus 1. On your paper for your test, you might have seen this, right, where I underlined this part and then took off a point. It's because you set it up correctly, but then we didn't do PEMDAS correctly. We didn't simplify correctly. So let's look how to both how to set these up and how to simplify them. Let's set them both up first. No, let's simplify this one. Whenever we're looking here, this 3 times 2 squared plus 1, the 3 times, that's multiplication. 2 squared is an exponent, and then plus 1 is addition. Another one of my housemates is coming in. No, it's my fiance taking a video of me doing my job. Okay, well, that's how it is sometimes. Okay, so for PEMDAS, you won't be in the frame. You can just come back. For PEMDAS, we want to do parentheses first. There's nothing really going in parentheses. Then exponents. So a lot of y'all did the 3 times the 2 and then squared it. That's not it, right? We have to square it first and then do the multiplication. So for this one specifically, we would have the 2 squared is 4. So we'd rewrite this as 3 times 4 plus 1. Then we do the multiplication. So that's 12. And then we do the addition. So this simplifies to 13. Let's do it again. For f of negative 3, same function. So we just rewrite this. So the setup is good now. Rewrite it, but every time we see an x, we put a negative 3. The first thing we do is the exponents, right? So we do negative 3 squared first. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. This is something a lot of y'all got slightly wrong on the test as well. So when we square the number, negative 3 times negative 3, 9 is the number, and then negative times a negative is positive. Now we get to do the multiplication. 3 times 9 is 27. I almost was like 18. That's not it. Anyways, 27 plus 1 is 28. So that's our simplified version. Again, another one. Okay, so f of 2 for this new function. Again, we're going to plug in the 2 first. Our setup is complete. Now we look at PEMDAS, right? This is parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction. We actually do have parentheses in this one. We want to do the 2 plus 1 first. Now we want to do the exponents, the 3 squared, and now we want to do the multiplication. Let's look at that one more time. We're going to set it up by rewriting the function with our specific x. So f of negative 3 is 3 times negative 3 plus 1 squared. Our setup is complete. Now for the computation, we do parentheses first. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. And then 3 times positive 4 is 12. All right, that was part 2 and 3. I'm going to make a new video for parts 4 and 5, and then we'll keep going. Stop sharing.